we need to tell our viewers something. Only 409 respondents for the survey. Only 15% were smokers. So is that an adequate survey to go off of in your bill or in any legislation that the Senate would pass? Senator Bartol?
Well, it's certainly clear that there would be more advocates for a smoking ban or more non-smokers going to a smoking forum because they care more, because they're the ones who are being inconvenienced. So I don't think it would be wrong to say that maybe the figures are not exactly scientific.
Colin, it's wrong to make the assumption that smokers want to smoke within 25 feet of buildings. I know a lot of smokers who would perfectly respect this courtesy clause or this mandatory setback. I mean, the courtesy clause asks people, would you support a sort of setback from the building? And 73% said yes. It just gives a person a leg to stand on when they say, please don't smoke here. If they don't move, they could say, oh, well, now there's a regulation against it. There's nothing on the books right now, and that's wrong, because lots of college campuses, not only do they have these setbacks, but lots of college campuses are completely smoke-free.
The courtesy clause got a 71.3% approval rating to the ban, which this is a ban. If you're not allowed to smoke somewhere, you're banned from smoking there.
Campus-wide smoking ban refers
to
absolutely
no campus-wide smoking ban. It's a ban within 25 to 30 feet of buildings. And on a completely different note, it's entirely impractical. Just like, who's going to enforce the ban?
Like I just explained, if I see a smoker there and he or she is bothering me, I could say, please, please smoke outside of the area where I have to walk, because there's a regulation that the school has that says you can't smoke here. Otherwise, I don't have any platform to stand on to say that.
Why can't you just ask them to go smoke over there without having to wave a regulation in their face? Why can't you just assume that they're not a horrible person, but they're a decent human being, and they will say, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was offending you. I will walk over there. You really need a law. You really need the Senate to spend time creating a mandate so that you can throw around a regulation.
Right now, it's a problem.
To go and ask people.
Okay, Senator Troiano, let's Senator Bartol speak.
Is it really practical to ask people nicely? Well, I know it's. Is it exactly what you need to be doing when you're walking toward the person ahead of you, to go up and tap on their shoulder and, oh, can you walk somewhere else? Could you, cross through the snow? They should know this bill would tell them you're not allowed to walk there, so you should know not to walk there while you're smoking. And then they don't have to go out of their way.
Yeah, but hang on. If you're walking toward, you won't be within 25 feet of a building, so they're perfectly allowed to smoke there anyway.
On the steps if we're within 25 feet of the building.
Well, then you're walking in toward. You're gonna get it for like a second.
Why should people be inconvenienced for a second,
for
a minute,
for 5 minutes? Why should smokers be inconvenienced for a minute?
Because you're choosing to, the onus is on you to, not you, a smoker, the onus is on the smoker to respect the rights of the non-smoker. If you want to take in...
Is the onus not on the non-smoker to also respect the rights of the smoker?
We are. We're saying you could smoke in a free area.
You're banning them from smoking, and you're putting them into a little fish tank.
If they want to impact their own health, they have a right to do that. I'm not saying they don't. They do not have the right, however, to impact my health or any other student who goes here adversely.
I think this is perfectly this is more semantics than anything, but I think as we're closing up here, I want to ask a basic question. In your bill, you say that we have a right to a healthy environment. Is that a right that we really have in this university? I mean,
as I just said, what I meant by that is that when I go out into public, your actions shouldn't affect my health adversely. If you want to do that to your own self, I think you have that right, but you don't have the right to do it to anyone else. That's basically what it's saying.
Zeman?
Can you repeat the question?
I was going to ask, do we have a right to a healthy environment? Is the individual or the group more important?
If we have a right to a healthy environment, somebody really needs to change the food in the tavern.
Senator Bartol, last thoughts?
I think that limiting the smokers' whereabouts would be good for those who are truly concerned about their own health and would feel much more comfortable not having to walk through a smoky zone on their way to class.
Thank you so much, guys. Great debate, great discussion, guys. I love it always.
I want to thank, I think the student government, especially President Vitalich, has been especially vigilant in making sure student concerns are heard. This is great surveys. We had the forum. The survey was sent out. I think that this bill well reflects public opinion. And I don't think it's going to be this hostile between students here at AU.
Well, we'll see. Thank you so much, guys. Coming up next, Jason talks with Justin Mushnick about his comedy routine.